everyone to this beautiful meadow wedding. We are gathered here today to celebrate the love between two of the sweetest deer on Lumi Island, Eric and Bo. Love is all about sharing snacks, chasing butterflies together, and always having someone to help you pick out cute sweaters, and no one does that better than these two.
Oh my god, they're literally so cute, I'm gonna cry.
My wedding better be as amazing as this.
Personally, I stand and I cannot wait to eat the cake. Wahoo!
And now the moment we've all been waiting for, Eric and Bo, by the power vested in me as, well, an island resident, I now pronounce you partners for life. You may now do a happy reaction.
This is so beautiful. I need to go to the snack table.
If they don't serve cupcakes at the reception, I'm walking out.
Look at them.
Just so cute. But does anyone know when we get some cake?
Congratulations to the lovely couple! And thank you for joining us today at this beautiful wedding ceremony. Hey Animal Crossers, and welcome back to Lumi Island. Happy Valentine's Day! I hope you all enjoyed Eric and Bo's lovely wedding ceremony. In honor of the lovey-dovey holiday that is Valentine's, I thought it would be fun to make an extra special Lumi episode where we celebrate love. I know that we just got done attending a wedding, but I'm talking about all types of love here, even the platonic kind. So yeah, consider this your annual reminder that you are loved and also a reminder to show love to all of those around you. Seriously, we are on a floating rock, people, and it's everyone's first time doing this thing called life, so just remember to be kind and put out love into the world. We need more of it, okay? Anyways, I do need to work on my island this week, and since it's Valentine's, I thought that it would be perfect to build a wedding venue for Eric and Bo, who I've decided are a cute couple on my island. I'll also be creating a mini meadow for both of their cottages and decorating their yards. If you like Animal Crossing videos, you're in luck because I post daily shorts and weekly videos, so be sure to subscribe and join your fellow Animal Crossers. Before we get into this episode, I did want to say a quick thank you to all of the special guests who attended the wedding. You can find all of their links down below. Now let's get into Lumi episode 8. Bo and Eric's wedding took place at a set that I made on Harv's Island, so I thought it would be amazing to recreate the wedding on my actual island. That way it is forever memorialized. Plus, I just love the wedding furniture set in Animal Crossing. You've probably heard me say that plenty of times now, but it's just such a pretty furniture set and I've been using it a lot on Lumi Island. So I thought, why not just go all in and make a dedicated wedding venue? There's this little area down here in the bottom right corner of my island where there's plenty of land space and also this nice beach area like bordering it. And not to mention there's the boat dock down here as well. I just feel like this would be the perfect spot for a wedding venue. My idea is to make the actual wedding ceremony area on the grassy land spot and then move onto the beach to design a reception space where everyone can celebrate after the wedding. So let's begin with the wedding ceremony space first. I started by framing the area with some trees and the wedding arch item. I usually don't start decorating with furniture items right away, but the wedding arch is going to be like the main centerpiece or focus of the build, so I thought it would help me out a ton to just go ahead and place that down, and then everything else can kind of just be built out around it. Next, I took my custom designs and started laying them out. I thought this bundle of letters would be perfect because it looks like they're wedding vows or something. I also sprinkled these little flower designs down the middle here, which will be like the wedding aisle, and then I just took my regular pathways and made some different patches on the ground. This is where the benches will be, where all of the wedding guests can sit and watch the wedding, so I just wanted to make some fun textures and pathways to go under the benches. I also made a quick winding plank path coming from this bridge over here that I just led up this way because I wanted to make sure that this wedding build was connected to everything up in that direction. Once I had all of the pathways ready, I went ahead and started adding the rows of benches. Originally, I was going to use the wedding bench item for this, but then I saw the wild log bench and I thought, you know what? I think that this would be really unique and give it a more like outdoorsy, backyard, casual wedding vibe, which I really loved. At the archway, I did add some topiaries to make it more lush too, and I also included this music stand to look like a small podium. I feel like it made the archway area look a lot less empty and more like a wedding could actually take place here. There wasn't much more room in this area after I added the benches, but I still wanted to add a few more small details to make the build more lively, so I decided to make a little entrance type of thing down here at the end of the rows of benches. My thought process here is that this is where the visitors will arrive, so I wanted to set up some different items, starting with this Lily record player. Oh, and also I added 2 of the wedding flower stands near the altar as well, and this wedding ring like pillow thing. I thought it would be so cute, so I placed that down, and I threw some cherry blossom petals down the aisle for some extra detail, like little piles of them, so it looked like they were thrown out during the wedding. Anyways, now back down here at this little entryway, I added these wooden partition items kind of as like backings for the benches down here so that it looked a little bit more separated. And I added a wedding welcome sign to welcome all the visitors, of course, and I placed this wedding head table item. Look, I haven't been to very many weddings, but I have noticed a trend where the couple will leave a guest book for wedding attendees to like sign their name and like leave a little sweet note or something, and then the couples can keep the guest book as like a keepsake. So I used the scrapbook item to be a guest book, and I just placed some cozy candles right next to it on this table, and I finished everything off with some flowers and more custom designs, and then we just had the wedding ceremony on the island. Now it's done. Now let's move down here onto the neighboring beach to design an outdoor reception for the wedding party. I started by laying out some patches of this green grassy pathway on the sand just to add some color and variety to the ground. The first thing I wanted to design was a wedding cake cutting area. This is a pretty big tradition for weddings, so I thought it would be cute to include. I used this big round covered table, and then I placed the wedding cake item on top along with this cute cutting board. By the way, does anyone remember when the cutting board item was one of the most sought out items in Animal Crossing? Back in 2020 when the game first released, this ironwood furniture set was hot. Like, I mean, everyone was searching for these DIYs and items. Specifically, everyone wanted this ironwood kitchenette item, and to craft it with a DIY recipe, it required one of these cutting boards. So yeah, every time I use this item, I have flashbacks to that time where everyone was desperately searching for these. Flower arrangements and florals are a huge part of any wedding, so I made sure to keep that in mind while decorating, and near the cake cutting table, I placed this larger flower arrangement and also a heart-shaped bouquet. Wedding receptions are usually just after parties where everyone comes together and celebrates the wedding that just occurred, and usually they serve lots and lots of yummy food, because what's a party without food? The wedding receptions I've been to even had like assigned seating with fancy tables set up all around, so I decided to kind of recreate that vibe with 2 of these wedding tables, and I paired them with the matching wedding chairs and just set up a dining area for all of the guests. These are pretty big tables, so I decided to just stick with 2, that way we would have room for other stuff on the beach as well. I also added some wedding candles around on the ground just to help set that cozy and romantic mood, and to finish off the dining area, I placed another one of these big flower arrangements over here. Up this way, I wanted to make a little musical instrument setup like near the actual wedding ceremony. I feel like live music is pretty common at weddings, and these items just look so elegant and romantic. So yeah, I placed a piano and this pink guitar, and I also stuck this outdoor bath item back behind here just to add some interest to this beach back here since it was only weeds. To finish off this wedding area, before we go and decorate Eric and Bo's cottages, I wanted to decorate Cap'n's boat dock. I wanted to keep it simple but still on theme. I added this other variant of the wedding welcome sign. I don't know if it makes sense here because like, what are you welcoming? I mean, maybe people are coming off of Cap'n's boat to the wedding, okay? And they need to be welcomed too. To match the logs that I used at the wedding ceremony as benches, and just to add a nice place to sit, I placed another log bench here. This one is slightly different though. I think the other one is like the wild log bench, and this is just the regular log bench. I also placed a tourist telescope just looking out over the ocean, and to bring it all together, I added some flowers on top of the bench and a few design codes around the deck. Now that the wedding area is complete, let's go work on Eric and Beau's mini meadow and their front yards. Eric and Beau's cottages were actually over by the wedding venue we just designed, so I had to move those out of the way earlier. Originally, I was planning to add Eric and Beau's cottages to the beach at the wedding venue, but that space is just way too small. I even moved their houses there at first because for some reason I thought it wasn't too small. I don't know why. I realized very quickly that this was not enough room, so I decided that I would instead relocate the couple's cottages over to this empty spot on my island in between the shopping district and the big neighborhood that I built in episode 5. There was plenty of space over here for both of their houses, so I thought this was perfect. To start off, I took some custom leaf designs and marked out where I wanted some fencing to go. I wanted to use the fence to mark off the front yard spaces for each of the cottages. The plan was to build a mini meadow in front of all of this, connecting over to my island's plaza. So once I was done figuring out the yard space, I added some of this brick pathway down here to connect this area with the plaza and the other builds on my island, like the shopping district. And then I used an assortment of different pathways leading from this brick road up to the cottages. There's also a little spot right here against the river that I thought would be the perfect place for a little picnic, so I went ahead and laid out a picnic blanket here. And once I added some simple white fencing and hedges to mark the front yards, I spent a lot of time going back and forth to a treasure island getting flowers to fill in the meadow. I just filled in all of the spaces here on either side of the paths that I laid out before. And once the fields were completely covered with flowers, I did go back and add some details throughout, like some butterfly models, these flower umbrellas, and a little bunny. Before we get into decorating Eric and Beau's yards, let's go ahead and finish up this little filler space down here with the picnic blanket. I started by making a tiny little pond just to bring some blue and something fun into the space. On the actual picnic rug, I placed a white Cosmo flower, and I also included a log stool. To make it look like someone just arrived, I did include a bicycle as well, and to complete the space, I added a flower basket to the log stool. Eric and Beau will each have their own front yard, but back here behind their cottages, I thought it would be cute to make a heart-shaped pond for the couple to share. I'll show the final layout of the heart pond on the screen if you want to take a screenshot and recreate the shape yourself. It barely fits in this space, like literally it is one block away from being too big, but I think it looks so cute on my island's map. After I had the pond finished up, I did take some of the varying path designs and led them through the front yard and back to the pond so that there was like a clear walkway back here. On this rock too, I did set up this go board with some candles and a tiny rug and this dropped lost item that I had in my inventory. I thought this was so cute, like a little hangout space for Beau and Eric to spend some time together. And then I got some more flowers from a treasure island and filled in the entire space around the heart pond with those flowers. And now we can finally start working on the front yards for both cottages. First, I placed a steel trash can item right outside of the yards. I thought it would be cute as like a mailbox, but I did end up replacing this item later. I thought it would be cute if Beau had like an outdoorsy craftsman vibe going on at his cottage, so I did place the outdoor kitchen item right next to his house right here. And then I started putting down some more pathways in his yard to make it look better. On this circular stone pathway, I included a crafting bench with a leaf stool. I also placed a plant in front of his window here to add some greenery and a little height. I thought this bonsai shelf would look super good here too, so I included that and a green leaf pile as well. I put this stool over by the outdoor kitchen to give Beau a place to sit while he's cooking, and I decided to replace the leaf stool by the workbench with this green plastic chair instead. Okay, now for Beau's yard, I wanted his vibe to be similar but like in a different font, if that makes sense. I started of course with adding some custom designs to the ground, and then I placed this big table that I customized with a cute pattern. I used a variety of different chairs to pair with the table. I do this all the time, y'all. It just looks so fun and charming. On top of the table, I placed some of these Turkey Day table settings because they're just so green and so cute. Honestly, I wish I had those dishes in real life. I also included some pie because the colors match really well, and I've just put a lot of pie all around on this island. Whenever I post Lumi me to the dream suite. Someone needs to visit and just count all of the pies and pie slices that I've placed everywhere. I don't know why I keep doing it. I think they're just so cute. I finished off Eric's yard with some more natural items like a round topiary, this hay bed, a tulip surprise box, and a garden wagon. At this point, Eric decided to come out of his house and wander around, and also Fauna showed up. They looked so cute. I wish that Bo would have joined them, but it was still so adorable. As one final touch for today's decorating, I placed these 2 lawn chairs overlooking the water back here. I just thought it would be so stinking cute and romantic, okay? And with that, everything was done. Now it's time for the final tour of everything we've decorated in today's Valentine's special. Starting with the wedding venue here, we can come up this way and see the wedding aisle entrance and walk through the entire ceremony. And up here is the altar with the music stand and all the cute flowers. I just love the way that the archway is framed by the topiaries and the trees and these little like flower stands. And again, I just love the way that the wild log benches look for the pews. They just look so outdoorsy and just, I don't know, I love it. Now let's head down into the reception area on the beach. We've got our cake cutting table here. So adorable. Honestly, the cake looks really freaking good too. Like, I would definitely want a slice. There's also the dining space here with the tables and chairs all set up, and this tree is not grown all the way, but it's fine. The pier or the boat dock is also over here with some cute decorations. I really hope that Cap'n likes everything. And we can keep walking down the beach through this gazebo, and this leads over to the little romantic live music setup that I made. Just imagine KK Slider like performing at your wedding. That would be amazing. And yeah, that's the entire wedding venue. So now let's go over and tour Eric and Bo's cottages. To get to the cottages, you can just cross over this bridge here and then head to the right, and you'll see the mini meadows that we made in front of the cottages. They just look so lush and green. I love it. The little picnic area down here is also just so sweet, and I love how this looks too. Let's head up the pathway, and you can see that I replaced the steel trash can with the tiny library item for the mailbox, and it looks so much better. We've got Bo's Craftsman outdoorsy style yard, and then we've got Eric's cutesy floral yard. I love the way that these look. I think that they complement each other so well, and the matching cottages is just so cute. Back behind the cottages, there's the heart-shaped pond and a bunch of cute little romantic hangout spots along the rocks back here, which honestly might be my favorite detail. And that is everything we were able to decorate in today's episode. And if you missed my warning last week, here it is again. There is only one more episode of Lumi Island after this. It won't be next week. I actually have a really fun video planned for next week, but the week after that will be the last Lumi Island episode. So be sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss that, and leave a like if you enjoyed today's video as well. Thank you again to all of these special guests who attended the wedding at the beginning of the episode. You can find all of their links and stuff in the description. And of course, thank you so much to all of our channel members. I super appreciate all of your extra support. And thank you all for watching another episode. I hope you have a very nice Valentine's Day. And again, don't forget that you are loved and you take up space, and that's okay, and you deserve so much. All right, Animal Crossers, I will see you next time. Bye!